I want to thank each of you MC leaders for all the work that you've been doing over this past year. It's been a year of movement. We've seen tremendous growth, especially since our retreat. One of the things that we value here at the plant, as you know, is equipping each one of you to lead God's people. And so what I'm going to be doing over the next few minutes is be talking about what is this next step of leadership and what is our next step of discipling those within our MC. Here's what we know. We know that the word that God has given us to focus on is missional. Missional means to be sent. And to be sent is to go into all the world and make disciples of all people. And so when we think about the word missional, what we are actually talking about is being sent to go make disciples. Within our MCs, we have gatherings of 20 to 50 people. And so in our MCs, we have this huge pool of individuals that God has called us to coach, to train, to equip, to mentor, to love, to shepherd. And so we in our groups, we have anywhere from 20 to 50 people. And this can be very overwhelming when we talk about discipling those individuals corporately. And so as we as a leadership team been studying and as we've been talking, we've been figuring out, okay, what's next in our discipleship process? How do we get real movement in discipling this huge crowd of individuals? And so in our studies and in our conversations, we have talked and discussed how when Jesus discipled, he discipled in different ways. He had larger gatherings and he had smaller gatherings. Even at one point, there was over 144 people that were following Jesus. There was also another group of 72 people that followed Jesus. And then you had another group of 12. And in between 12 and 72, you had these gatherings that constantly were following him. And so as we move forward, and as we go into summer and as we go into the fall, we need to do a more deliberate job in discipling those within our MCs. And so what I want to do is I want to talk about how we're going to do this so that when you meet with either myself or Omar next, you will understand what is this going to practically look like. And so in our groups of 20 plus individuals, we know that it's difficult to give real care and movement to these individuals. And so what we want to do is let's call it 20. Let's call it 20 people. And in that 20 people, you have a total of 4 to 6 MC leaders. Our goal is within this 20 to break them up into 3 different discipleship huddles. That's the word we're using. Discipleship huddles. So as you are gathering and you are meeting, there will be specific times where your huddle will be gathering on that same evening, in the same place, where you will be specifically mentoring them, discipling them. And so in each huddle, you can have 6 to 8 people, 6 to 8 people, 6 to 8 people. And if you have 6 leaders, you would have 2 leaders overseeing them. And so as you grow in numbers, that means that you need to be able to keep this idea of 6 to 8 people being shepherded by 2 MC leaders. And so how could this look? This looks that when you are throwing parties, when you are serving, when you're gathering, the whole MC is moving together. You are discipling, becoming like Christ in our communities. But when you break out for Bible study or prayer, you would be breaking into your groups of 6 to 8. And that means throughout the month that these MC leaders will be shepherding these specific 6 to 8 individuals within your MC huddle. And what this allows us to do is to do both formal and informal discipleship in more of a strategic and specific and deliberate means. And so I want to give you a picture of how we as a missional church want to be discipling individuals. Our concern is if we're only gathering in such large numbers that discipleship has the potential to be watered down. But if we deliberately put leadership over certain individuals, it allows for discipleship to actually go deeper and be more strategic. And so as an MC leader, we want you to begin to mentally prepare and emotionally prepare for who God is going to specifically invite you to mentor and disciple, to know Christ and to make him known. Thanks for leading with us, and it is a privilege and honor to be doing this together.